Hello dear viewers, and welcome to another video here by me, the old dwarf, down in the ancient dwarven hold of our ancestors. After the last video explaining some of the concepts of D&D used in Baldur's Gate 3, I thought perhaps it might be quite useful if I shared 10 things I've learned more specific to Baldur's Gate 3 itself. Before we get started on that, dear viewers, can I please request that if you like what I do here down in the ancient hold, then perhaps you might subscribe to the channel, perhaps leave a thumbs up, and maybe comment on anything cool you have found in the game. Number 1. Action bars. The action bar in Baldur's Gate 3 is where you'll find all the different skills and spells that you can use, for a mighty dwarf has many skills at their disposal. As your play progresses, you will learn new abilities that after a while will fill up the action bar, making it quite overloaded with buttons to use. You can simply and easily move the bars left and right to expose more of a certain skill bar and also show specific types, like all bonus actions. This is helpful of course to your average dwarf, but if you want to maximise how many spells you can see at once, you can use these two buttons at the bottom of the screen to increase and decrease the number of rows in the action bar. Number 2. Sorting bags. When pressing tab or the group inventory button, you can see all of your mighty characters at once. If you wish to sort all of their inventories at the same time, then fear not. There is a little button at the top here that allows you to sort all of the bags in one go. Number 3. Initiative. Whenever combat begins between your party of mighty heroes and some ruffians, each character involved will be assigned their time to activate in order of initiative. The game will roll for each character in your party and group of monsters. This involves rolling a d20 and adding the initiative modifier for the character concerned. The initiative bonus is your dexterity modifier. For example, if you rolled a 10 and your dexterity bonus is 2, then your initiative value would be 12. The characters with the highest initiative go first and the lowest last, so it is good to have a high dexterity if you want to go first in combat. Number 4. Dyeing clothing. Throughout your travels you will come across special clothing dyes of various different colours. This enables you to dye the colour of a piece of your clothing, for sometimes even an old dwarf is partial to some different coloured cloth. To do so, you must right click on the dye in the inventory and select Combine. A little window will appear where you can then drag the item in that you wish to dye, pop it in the slot and then press Accept. The item will now be the new colour, hopefully. Number 5. Extracting and crafting potions. Potions in Baldur's Gate 3 can have a huge impact on gameplay if you choose to make use of them. There are of course potions and elixirs and all sorts you can loot out in the world, but you can also make use of herbs and other ingredients to make them yourself. If you're a little unsure how it works, then listen here, dear viewer. Each of your characters has a special herb bag that whenever they pick up herbs and ingredients, they will be popped inside. If you open the bag from the inventory, you can see all the stuff that you've gathered. If you right click on a herb, you can choose to extract it and create reagents for potions. This will bring up the crafting menu where you can choose to extract from all the herbs at once. Alternatively, you can click on the character sheet and then click the crafting tab, which will bring you to the same menu. From the crafting menu, you can see all the potions you can currently make and which ones you have materials for. There are bombs, potions and all sorts, so check them out. Number 6. Elixirs. Further to crafting, elixirs are powerful potions you can create and come across in the world of Baldur's Gate 3. They give all sorts of buffs from resistances to an extra spell slot. You can only have one elixir buff at a time, but it will last until your next long rest. It is definitely worth checking these out. Number 7. Changing the look of the dice. When you're about to roll a d20 for some kind of check, if you press the little button down here, it will show you the option to change the look of the dice should you wish to change them up a bit and go with a different colour. Number 8. Learning spells from scrolls. If you have a wizard in your party, most likely Gale, they are able to learn new spells from any scrolls you find on your travels. To do so, you must have the scrolls in their inventory. Then you need to click on the spells section for that character. There will be a special button for the wizard to learn new spells. If you click this, it will bring up all the scrolls that you have which are not already spells you know. Each one will have a level and a gold cost. To learn a spell, you must be at the right level to cast it, and you must have the gold to do so. More powerful spells are higher level and cost more gold. Once you've selected all the spells you wish to learn, you can press the accept button and you'll learn those spells. One little thing of note is that you can click on the wizard's learn spells button from the multiple inventory screen even if you don't have the wizard selected. If you try to learn spells without the wizard being specifically selected, then it won't work. Number 9. Casting levels. Many spells in Baldur's Gate 3 can be cast at higher levels. This means you can cast a given spell using a higher level spell slot that is detailed in their description. When cast at a higher level, it will be more powerful. Simply click a higher level slot after selecting the spell. In terms of offensive spells, this usually means an extra damage dice roll is used or another projectile might be fired. For healing spells, it will be more healing done to the target. This is a good feature of D&D and Baldur's Gate 3 to know and make use of in your battle against evilry. Number 10. Spells are not just for damage. I thought I might end the video with a note about spells, specifically spells that are not used for damage. There is an assortment of spells in Baldur's Gate 3 that provides you with all sorts of interesting buffs and interactions. For example, Bless is a strong buff that affects 3 or more people, increasing their attack rolls and saving throws by d4, which is huge if you're trying to hit high armoured opponents. There are also crowd control spells like Hold Person, which allows you to lock down 1 or more humanoids for several turns, keeping them out of the fight. Besides those are spells like Fly, which gives a character the power of flight to get to hard to get places. Or the Knock spell, which can open standard locks for you rather than trying to pick them. There is a Gust of Wind to remove dangerous clouds and fogs. You can use Speak to the Dead to speak to the dead. You can summon familiars, create puddles of water, provide slow fall to members of your party, and so on. The breadth of spells available provides all sorts of opportunities, so get out there and experiment with it. And there we go, dear viewer, another video about Baldur's Gate 3 that I hope you enjoyed. There will now be a final video coming with my full review of the game after I've completed it. Then we will be back to other games as usual. I hope you are well, dear viewer, and I shall see you next time.